Okie dokie. Alrighty. I think we are live. I know it's another late night one. I'm sorry. I'll get my act straight one of these days. Just bear with me. Okay, I'm up on the tablet. Everything seems to be okay. I believe you guys probably can hear me. So we'll get to getting 11 by 18 inch 11 by 18 inch watercolor paper glued to foam board. Makes it very light. Okay, on the glass palette I have phthalo blue, cad yellow, titanium white, and alizarin crimson. Alright, we'll try to make this as painless as possible, somewhat. I'm gonna go for somewhat of a basic kind of a sky. Plenty of white, little bit of blue. Kind of bleach it out here. That might work. And then we'll get on with it. I got a very thin layer of glycerin on this. Okay, just to let you know, I do. I'm bringing it into the tree line a little bit. So if some of the paint covers the tree, it's okay. It's black, and I can wipe off a few bits if I think it's too much. So it's all right. The glycerin, I can wipe it off still if it's a little much. I can thin it out. And you may see me do just that. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Just all depends of how it works out. Okay. All right. All right. I don't think that's too bad. Just try to even out the paint. Keep it at one steady motion, no clouds or anything special. Maybe I think that will do fine. Let's take we'll take a smaller fan brush here, and what I'm going to do is I'll make some quick green with some of this ochre. A little bit of blue. I don't think I'll add too much water to this. And I'll eke out a few pine trees here. And I'll use that black. I try not to get rid of all that black there. And I'll kind of put it right up in there. Use some of that black to my advantage here. As I'm doing this, I get interesting little shapes. I'll add to some highlighting a little bit later. Not too much highlighting, just a little bit. All right. just like that. Pop it in there a little bit. Just need a little bit of each color. Just a pure paint. You can see how brighten things up here and there. Oh, I think I'll add some cute little bushes in there somewhere. Just a little bit here and there. Get a little bit of white and get some cute little highlights going in there, and a few of them there. Oh. I'll kind of tap them in there. Get a nice little clump of color in here like this. More on one side than the other. You'd be surprised how much white you would need to make it show, especially against a light blue background. Alright, I'm getting a little touch of red in there. Slap some green into that red. Dull it just a little bit. And we'll kind of a slightly upward motion. You won't be able to tell that it's that's a black background when I'm done. Then I'll just take the rest This is pretty much wet on dry. I'm just tapping. Semblance of some ground in there. Every time I do this, I do have to touch the screen because it does adjust the focus a little bit. All right. Get a touch of this yellow here. Get a little bit of white. Pop it in there, brighten it up a little bit. Get a little bit of water. I'll mess around with it right here. And we'll get some bright flower type patterns going on here. Okay. I'll probably put a little bit of red in there too. Just flipping it around. I'm keeping the paint fairly thick, so one, it'll show a little bit. And we're gonna get a little bit of white. We'll put it over here. Get a touch of red. And we're gonna pretty much do the same thing. Don't worry about the splatters down here. They'll be covered. You'll never know they're round. I'm not worried about red up in the trees. Just wipe them away. It's okay. All right, something like that. Take my palette knife, go to a little white, spread it out real quick, and we'll kind of pop in some trunks real quick. I'll even kind of pop in a few here. You might not see these too much, and it's okay. Still give the appearance of some trunks there. Okay. All right. Let us take we'll take some of this yellow. And maybe a little touch of that green. Brighten it up a little bit. Okay. And we'll probably pop in some very light touches of some highlight colors in there. Try to keep it in a circular motion a little bit there. And we'll pop some in here a little bit. Something like that. Let's take some of this red-ish color. Let's make it a little deeper. Put some firebrands in there. Same technique, different color. Give it kind of an autumn look to it. Pop some in the corner up there. Let's take a little bit of that blue, and we'll throw some of that blue in here like this. Just bring a little color into it, that's all. Just like that. All right, okay. Hey Ian, how are you, man? I'm doing all right. I didn't see your text for some reason. When people start to text, I just don't see it until I refresh the text. I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there, taking things pretty easy, you know. It's good to see you. You're doing some wonderful work there. Glad you got your stuff up and running. I'm not really painting as often as I used to. I don't know if you had heard, but I had a heart attack last month, and so that kind of put the kibosh on quite a few things. And so I slowly kind of build myself back up to strength, I guess you could say. So yeah, take things a little slower than usual. The meds kind of help with that too. They kind of slow me down so my heart can heal and all that fun stuff. I just want to brighten up some of these trees a little bit. I don't want it to look like snow, so I'm gonna gray out some of this green while still keeping it a little bit brighter. I'll just dance them around a little bit here. And this is pretty much wet on dry. Try to pack on the paint on the tips and give it a light touch. Yeah, I don't have nowhere near the schedule I used to have. So I've been pretty much chilling out. And for some reason I'm a lot more comfortable doing stuff like this really late at night. Why? I don't know. It's just me, I guess. I've always been kind of a night owl. So I know it's in the morning time for you, almost lunch. You know, we don't change our clocks back until the first Sunday in November. So, all right, up here, I'm gonna do like I say, more fall colors. So I guess I'll play around with some brighter colors, I guess. Just pull out some of this crimson, pop in a little bit of white in there. That should do. We'll kind of do it by the side here. We'll just kind of pop in a few, just like that. And we'll come down here and knock out a few, like that. We'll come down here. Okay, and we'll pop some down here, down below, like so. All right, let's get a little bit of this yellow. Pop that yellow in there. Well, it's actually yellow ochre. Definitely gonna liven it up with a little bit of white. Okay, here, we'll lightly tap some of these joys in there, just like that. I don't want to destroy all of the black, so. We'll bring some of this downward there, like that. Yeah. Once again, this is wet on dry. There's no glycerin or any kind of medium. And once again, I don't want to destroy all the black in there, so just like that. All right. So I'm still checking it out. I got a 40-inch screen that I look at this stuff with. So make sure everything is cool. All right, okay. I believe I'm going to get a very small flat brush, and since I just nicely rolled my brush into the paint, typical. We'll put that right there for a second. Okay, let's get some brown going here. We'll dip this right into that red. So the green and the red, they're opposites on the color wheel. We'll just kind of mix it together here. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to get just the smallest touch of black. Well, pop, or that's blue. I'm sorry, it's not black. But it's all right. We're mixing it in there. It's going to turn a kind of a brownish gray. And that should somewhat work. I'm going to put some posts in here just to throw it all off. It looks like it's a nice nature scene, but as soon as you put some man-made built things in there, that kind of ruins the package. So we'll throw that in there. I might need to darken that a little bit. So let's go back into our blue. Some of this in crimson. Pop it in there, make it really dark. Now this is nothing but a very deep maroon, but it will appear black because of everything else that's surrounding it. Okay, it appears black, but it's not. Just like that, we'll just throw it in there. We'll get a crooked one in there. We'll have it come down a little bit. We'll have this one to kind of meet this way. He's a little bit lower. Then we'll come back up here. And one a little bit higher. Like I say, little man-made things kind of throw stuff off. Like, you know what they are, but for some reason it really shouldn't be there. Then I'm just going to make them shorter and shorter and shorter. Just have it go off into the woods somewhere in there like that. All right. Okay. We'll just put some dainty little highlights on those. Get a little bit of white. It's gonna gray it out a little bit. See? And now add a little more white just to make it a little bit brighter, so it just stands out a little bit better. And you'll need a slight touch of this. And we'll just come here and we'll just kind of highlight. Now because I'm doing wet on dry with acrylic paint, it will dry rather quickly. Once I see some of the paint is starting to dull out a little bit, just get you some more. No problem, Ian. It's good to see you. Hello, Sonia. How are you? That was a buddy of mine from Australia, Indianapolis. Has a very successful channel. Nice guy. All right. So we got that going on. I'm going to further establish a sense of depth. Oh, did you really? Okay. Oh, you got to wind down then. You're probably all amped up. Let's go into some titanium white, mixing it in with this gray so it won't be totally white. It's just a brighter version of the highlight that you barely see. And we'll make some thin wire. Now this is a script liner brush. And now I'll just aim this stuff downward. Okay, and we're going to do another row. I'll probably have maybe 2 of them here. Once again, this kind of helps establish some kind of depth and a little bit of perspective there. Just rolling my brush into it real quick. And pop one up here. Bring a little bit of that rope into your post on one side there. And of course, you know they're going to get smaller. Okay. Sometimes as they get smaller, almost like you're just doing like a little dot. They get a little closer together there. Okay. Okay, that seems like it should work. Well, I bet it was a long day. I bet. As I'm looking at things here, I'll just take a larger fan brush. Let's get some grass highlights happening. Just a little bit of this yellow should do. And we'll just tap in. Especially maybe around the fence post a little bit. Up around in here. And bring some of that down in here a little bit. To that dip. Not too much, really. That should be fine. All right. Okay. Okay. For right now, let's block in the. I'll take this brush. It doesn't matter. I'm just blocking in. I'm gonna block in. We'll take some of this gray and some of this purple. We'll just block in the waterfall. And the waterfall should be pretty much right there. Just blocking this guy in. Just block it in. Just like that. I know it doesn't look too impressive yet, but we'll get it there. Travel Dreamer, how are you? Can't sleep? Well, the way I hold these art sessions, you'll be going to sleep in about 7 minutes. Okay. We're gonna pop in some rocks, boulders, or whatnot in there. I'm debating whether I should have some water down here. I could. Yeah, I'll think about it. What I'll do is I'll take a little bit of glycerin, just a little glycerin with this blue. I'll put it right in here. Now this blue is it's transparent color. Meaning that when I put it against the black, it's still going to appear black. All right. But I appreciate it, you coming by. I do. Okay. Now this is going to appear a little too transparent for the simple reason there's a little bit of white mixed in there. I mixed that gray in with the blue, but that's okay. It's all right. Because if I choose to use this, I'll use it. If not, you know, that's fine also. It doesn't matter right now. All right. It'll stay wet for a little bit. Like I say, I can add, I'll show you. It's a little thin strip of white. And what this white is going to do is just pick up that blue. Okay. See this? See how it picks up that blue in there? And I can kind of whip it around. The water's going to be turbulent anyway, so it doesn't matter. And this is just blocking in water, that's all. And I can play with this a little bit later. All right, enough of that. I'll come to that later. As long as I block this guy in, we're good. Okay. Hope I don't have nothing still on in there. I hear a sound. I have to go investigate. All right, let's get some rocks going on in there. There's a few ways I can approach the rock situation here. I think I would want to do the tap thing for the rocks. So let's get my favorite palette knife. I might have to purchase me a couple more of these. I do have other ones. I think I put them away. This one's getting a little beat down. Okay, let's make a little bit of well, we'll make some maroon and we'll play from there. We'll use this blue and this red. We'll mix this in there. We're going to need more than this, but for right now. And we're going to get a little bit of this green. Let's throw that green in. What I'm going to do is gray this stuff up. As you see, it's starting to turn brownish. Okay. Now I have to be careful because I think there's glycerin in here. I really didn't want the glycerin in there, but there's something else I'm going to show you in case you end up doing something like that. If you ever use a medium and you kind of get absent-minded and forgot that there's medium in here, I'm going to show you what to do. But let me get the color that I really want to have in here, a little grayish. So I'll add a little bit of white in there, and you'll see what happens. See that color? Okay. See what happens there? Okay. Okay. Yeah, this palette knife is a little long in the tooth, but I'm gonna show you something how I can thicken this stuff up. I'm gonna get a little bit of it's all in the approach of how you do it. This is modeling paste. Okay, I'm gonna throw a little bit of modeling paste in there in this mix, which will thicken this stuff right up. Okay, as you can see that thickens it right up. That's kind of what you want. This is like the consistency actually of oil paint, something I'm very, very accustomed to. Eventually I'll do some oil painting. I gotta somehow get some space where I can actually hang the stuff so they can dry. Oil paint takes a ridiculously long time to dry. Okay, all right, now this type of method does take quite a bit of paint to use to do it. So this glob of paint is actually perfect. And as you can see down here, you can see all that good nice texture, and we're going to use that. Okay, And what we'll do is more or less a tapping motion, okay, to establish the rock. It can be, it's omnidirectional, meaning you can go in any pattern, any which way. Okay, okay. We'll start from up here, and we're gonna, it's almost like a little tap and drag. Now this really is effective with wet on dry. And go in any direction, really. Okay. And it will look more rock-like as I go on with this. I'm not gonna make all the darks disappear. We're gonna keep those. Keep the darks. Kind of jut some of those rock bits over the falls there. And as this stuff dries, it creates a texture. So I don't have to do the same tapping motion that you see. Not really. Wet on dry, great effect for this type of rock texture. Okay, put some right down here on the bottom there. Okay, we come over here. And bring it down as far as you want. Keep a little bit of that black in there. That helps out. You can establish a light source later. So it's more of a tap pull type of thing. Okay. Oh, we'll kind of get a lump of rock up in there like that, and then we'll just kind of, once again, just kind of, it's like a tap and a push, or tap and drag. I'm gonna borrow some up here, like that. Yep, this is what I use it for. Bottling paste does not turn it white or any lighter or darker. It just thickens your paint, your acrylic paint. It is water soluble. It is primarily made for acrylic. You can get ridiculous texture with this stuff. Okay. I'll come out here, then come back in and bring it up like that. Highlighting these guys will be fairly simple, pretty quick. I'm pretty much doing this free form, so I did not obviously sketch out any rocks or anything like that. I just do light and shade here. That's where the black background really helps out. And this type of palette knife works great with it. Keeping it as flat as possible. You'll know when you run out. The key to it really is to keep your knife as flat as possible. if it goes a little bit into the water, don't fret, don't panic, you're okay. Now I can shape up some of these guys to wherever I want them to be, really. See, you can start joining them as one giant chunk of rock. Up to you how you want to do it. You don't necessarily have to do it this way. But you see, they make their own pattern. Okay. I kind of like the way it looks. I like some of the jagged stuff. I'm gonna keep it like that. I don't have to really mess with it too much. Okay. Mixed media and stenciling. Okay. And all I need really is just a little bit of white. Put it right into the mix. See that? Now, if you want it a little darker, just add a little bit more of that brown. It's still going to be brighter than what you previously used. You can tell by what I have here previously and what's here now. Okay. All right. Now for the next part, to highlight these guys, not very difficult. All you do really is slide it right across. Okay. I don't have to really tap it. I can just kind of just get some of this stuff. And very gently, depending on where you want your highlights, let's do all of that over here. Let me touch the screen here. Put the focus back on. Okay. Wherever you want it lit, really. All right. And we'll just kind of take it. And look at this. Look how easy that is. Okay. Don't force it. Just let it naturally happen. Wherever you want it. I want it lit more on the left-hand side. And so I will create the textures on the left-hand side. And just slide it across. Up here. Now what's doing this is the bumpy texture that's already been previously put on there. Follow me? Right up here on the top here. Bring some of that there. Right up in here. A little bit up here. Join some of them together. Okay. As you do this and you get more accustomed to it, you'll see where your highlight spots will be. Okay. All right. Right up here. Now, if I run out like I just did, no big deal. Get some more. Just make some more. See that? Just get some more. All right. And you just continue on. Now remember, it's on the left-hand side, so the ones that are jutting into the falls don't get it. It's in the back of the rock that gets it. Back of the rock gets the love on that side. If you want them to look more solid, you just add more color to it. Really up to you. Your discretion. All right. All right. Okie dokie then. Let's get a flat brush. Nothing too I don't want a flat brush too wide. I thought I might have had one around here at the ready. I don't, but that's okay. I'll just use this little fella. Yeah, usually you can. I mean, if I wanted to go faster, I'll just use a fan brush and do what you would normally think I would do. But no, not today. Let's get some blue. We'll put the blue over here somewhere. Get a little touch of white. Pop it in there. Just like that. Okay. Okay. Maybe a slight hint of red in there. We'll gray it out. Just a little bit. Just like that. Okay. And we're going to take this, use the side of this flat brush. Okay. All right. And right from the top here, you see how it breaks? And I'll just kind of jump it around a little bit. Especially up around in here. I'll get that thick rush of water here. And if you've noticed, I'm following kind of a pattern there, because it's usually pretty straight going down toward the middle. Okay. And basically the trick is to relay movement. So we got the curve going this way. And basically I'm just building up the water, the body of water, the mist. Where it would be the heaviest at, where the light would hit it more or less the most. So what's also good about doing this is as I'm doing this, you leave in some of that dark areas there. All right. I'm just refreshing my chat here. All right. Okay, where am I at? Where am I at? All right, let's get a little bit more. I'm not going to block all of that in. Okay. Can I use this? I can use this. Why not? I'm going to get a little bit of water in this very soft-haired brush. And we'll go with this white here. So I got a little water in it. So it'll make it a little transparent, a little. And you can usually layer this, especially if you got water on the brush. I'll start, well, it's really got a lot of light up in here, and then we'll just kind of take it, go straight down with it. It's like that. This is relatively easy. A little bit of white. Remember, the water makes it fairly transparent. It's just layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. Okay. Believe it or not, I ran out of white. And that's okay. Try not to force it. Bring some of that over the rocks a little bit. Let's go into my titanium white. Be careful with your heavy titanium white. Start off quite light. As you see, I'll still keep building. Just keep building. Go back to my square brush, my flat brush. And we'll get some really strong lines of water there. Really wiggly and choppy like this. And that really sells the movement of the water there, okay? You follow me? And it usually comes in bands, depending on how it looks falling over the rocks. Because there's rocks underneath the falls. That's what kind of gives it its dramatic look. Okay. So you notice I'm not putting it everywhere. Usually where it's really frothy and where it's starting to really hit the rocks down there, you get a lot of that action going. All right. Where it crests, get a lot of the light hitting off the top. Throw some mist in there. All right, let's get the fan brush here. Now with the fan brush, we're going to deal with the direct top of the brush there. That's the direct top. So I have a fan brush that has these bristles like this. Okay, this is one of the more simpler ways to get some of that froth going. You can kind of pop it up there. Just a series of dots and things like that. You come out here and pop some of them up in there like this. Have them go up a little bit, just like that. And then I'll get some little oceany little waves popping off over here, over on this side. Make it a nice line of some sort. Okay. You can have some kick up against the rocks by giving it a nice little push. See this? Use the corner of the brush and you just give it a push like that. Okay. Depending on how high you want that stuff to go. Okay. And you see you can get a lot of action going there. Like so. A lot of action happening there. Let's get a sponge brush here. We're going to dip the sponge brush into some water. I'll drain some of that water out. Now, white paint leaves a chalky residue. So this is more water than paint. So you would have to play around with this a little bit. And then, you know, you kind of can't have no fear when you do what I'm about to do. All right, you want some mist going, and you can kind of see this. See all that happening there? It's gonna leave that chalky residue there. You can get it brighter if you want, up to you. But I'm just getting a little mist going here. I'm just adding a little more paint to that water, and we'll brighten it up a little bit. Kind of have it waft up there a little bit if you want, up to you. When it dries, it will look like mist, like little smoky stuff going on in there. Pop some of that in here too. A little touch of white into it, make it a little bit brighter. You got it going against the falls here. Have it come across the falls a little bit. Trust me, you'll see it. It depends on how misty you want it down there. Okay. All depends. That's all on you. Well, I'm looking at it. It looks like it's almost just about finished here. I'm thinking, I really don't want to put anything else in front of this. I kind of like it when it's a little bit open like that. I am going to make a little bit of a tunnel for that top waterfall. Just getting a little bit of blue, a little bit of red. Fairly dark. And we're just going to kind of recover some of that in there. Almost like a little hole there that the falls can kind of, something like that. Something like that. Just like a little tunnel or something. All right, to go through like that. I don't think I need to really add anything else to it. You can see the fence there. The fence isn't terribly bright. Doesn't need to be. I think I can get a little bit of darkness in the foreground water. So I'm taking my little hairbrush again, a little eyeliner brush. I'm getting a little bit of dark blue, and I'm gonna kind of put a nice wash in there, even up, covering up some of the splashes there. Just a little darker, that's all. And I can take my finger, because this is water, I can fade that out a little bit there. I can pop some of that in there like that, stir it around. Put a dot in there, stir it around in there too. So it just returns some of that dark, some of that darkness from the falls. Put it in there a little bit. That's all. All right. I think that should just about do it. Like I said, this painting doesn't really take too long to do. I'm gonna pan this back and I'll show you what it looks like in a frame, and we'll call it a day. Let's put my name in it somewhere. I know when I do paintings this late, people usually obviously catch these in the morning or some other day when normal people wake up. There. All right, let's take the tape off. Let me push this back here a little bit and adjust the focus real quick there. All right. This is 12 by 18 inch watercolor paper on foam board. You don't necessarily have to frame it the way I'm doing it. I just kind of like the neat look of it when it's boxed in. I don't do it all of the time, but the majority of the time I will frame it in that manner. Okay. So this is what it would look like. Now, sorry for the glare. I didn't take the plexiglass off, but you know, in a frame it would pretty much look like that. All right, if you chose a black frame. Okay. Hey, how you doing, Mona? Normal is overrated. But that's what she looks like, in a frame. Okay. Alrighty then. I think that's it. Well, Mona, I'm doing okay. I'm taking it day by day. Thank you, Travel Dreamer. I appreciate you guys stopping in. Let me get rid of this. Don't need to see that anymore. That's just disturbing. I'll be cleaning that up probably tomorrow sometime. I don't want to deal with it tonight. Glass palette, acrylic paint, very simple to get rid of. I just use my palette knife and some rubbing alcohol, scrape it off, paper towel, clean it up, and it looked like it was never used before. No problem. No problem at all, Mona. You know, everybody, you know, they have those days. They're pretty busy. I know usually you would see a screenshot of my face on here, but I just chose not to really put it on there. The cameras, everything's hooked up. I just had to, you know, all I had to do really is turn it on and change the camera setting, and my face will pop up there, but you know, not tonight. So yes, I will be releasing it. Everything's finished, I just never advertised it, but yes, everything is done. I really ought to just upload it to my Dropbox and put the advertisements out there. But everything's set and ready. They've been done for a while, and everything you see here I teach in depth. I teach water, rocks, grass, trees, different types of trees, clouds, different types of clouds. What else do I teach? I got a floral in there. I teach about terms, color terms, the differences between hue and saturation, and all sorts of terms and stuff. I got the videos have the lettering on the screen that explains it, gives a definition, the whole 9 yards. I really took my time and did it. Really cool. And it's been done for a while. I just haven't put it out there, but I will put it out there. And it's they're all MP4, so you know, you either pay through Cash App or PayPal. I'll know that you sent the money, and you just let me know what video you want, and I will email you the link, and you know, there you go. Yes, I hacked up her first name a few times. I think it's pronounced Maniander. Maniander Kerr. But yes, she's a long time visitor here. Especially when I did the weekly video series. I had quite a schedule, Travel Dreamer. Every Monday it would be a pre-made video, and I would sit in the chat room. And then every Wednesday I would do a live at 6 o'clock, sometimes 6 or 7. So yeah. So. But okay, guys, I shall snap a picture of this. It will be on my Facebook page in a few minutes. I redesigned my thumbnail, my YouTube thumbnails. This thumbnail is very bright. Every few years or so, I'll change the thumbnails, or I'll try to do it every year. So I'm a little bit early because it's October, but I'll keep this one until probably next year sometime. Then I'll change it again. So, but all right. Thank you guys. I appreciate you. You guys have a very good night, and all that good stuff. And I shall see you when I see you. All right. Okay. Peace.